In the coastal calm of Fernandina Beach, Florida, where historic buildings overlook slow-moving streets and daily life flows with a familiar peace, the disappearance of Joleen Jensen Cummings in May 2018 disrupted everything. It began with a silence that didn't make sense, a break in routine that her family recognized instantly. Joleen, a mother of 3, a dedicated stylist, and a reassuring presence to so many, simply did not vanish without explanation. She was reliable, grounded, and deeply committed to her children. When she missed work and failed to respond to calls, those who knew her felt immediate concern. Something was wrong. And in the days that followed, that concern grew into a focused, determined search for answers. Joleen's presence at Tangle's hair salon was steady and dependable. She was the kind of coworker people leaned on, someone who brought balance and warmth to the room. Her life had not always been easy, but she consistently worked towards stability for her children. She kept her commitments, maintained routines, and showed up for people. This was part of why her disappearance was so alarming, because she never left anyone uncertain about where she would be. Her last known day, May 12, 2018, started as a normal shift at the salon. Mother's Day weekend was always busy, with clients preparing for gatherings, dinners, and family photos. Joleen worked alongside a coworker who had only recently joined the salon staff. Kimberly Kessler, a woman who used different names, different stories, and whose background raised quiet questions among those around her. But at the time, no one imagined the extent of what they would later learn about her life. Joleen finished her shift, left the salon, and drove her beige Ford Expedition. She was expected home. She was expected the next morning. She was expected to answer her phone. And when none of that happened, her mother contacted authorities. Officers began piecing together her final movements, reviewing footage, talking to coworkers, and checking any location she was known to visit. A pattern began to emerge, one that pointed back to the salon. As investigators dug deeper, they discovered something alarming about the coworker who had been with Joleen that day. Kimberly Kessler was not Kimberly Kessler at all. Records revealed she had used approximately 17 different identities over the years. She had lived in multiple states under false names. She had moved frequently, leaving behind unanswered questions in each place. The discovery shifted the investigation sharply. What had been a missing person search now carried the weight of something far more serious. Joleen's SUV was located days later in Yulee, parked near a Home Depot. Surveillance footage showed someone leaving the vehicle, someone who was unmistakably not Joleen. The person matched the appearance of Kimberly Kessler. This footage, paired with eyewitness accounts placing the two women together around the time Joleen was last seen, strengthened the direction investigators were already following. Back at the salon, forensic teams searched for anything that might explain what had happened. They found signs that raised deep concern. While the details were carefully managed to avoid public speculation, investigators made it clear that evidence inside the salon reflected a scenario that suggested something significant had taken place there. At the same time, they began tracking Kimberly's movements during the hours following Joleen's disappearance. Video footage captured Kimberly disposing of items at a dumpster. Other footage captured her purchasing supplies that investigators believed were attempts to cover tracks. As the evidence grew, so did the urgency. Authorities located Kimberly Kessler and took her into custody on charges initially tied to an unrelated probation violation. But she quickly became the primary focus of the inquiry. Over time, those charges expanded into far more serious accusations connected to Joleen's disappearance. Kimberly's behavior after her arrest drew significant attention. In custody, she exhibited erratic conduct, refused to cooperate, made conflicting statements, and at times acted in ways designed to disrupt proceedings. She used new aliases, made unusual claims about her identity, and resisted court processes. At one point, she insisted she was not the person investigators said she was. At another, she declared she had no involvement in the case. Her refusal to participate in psychiatric evaluations and her unpredictable courtroom behavior became ongoing challenges for the legal system. Meanwhile, the most heartbreaking truth remained. Joleen herself had not been found. The case continued gaining momentum as digital records, surveillance footage, and physical evidence were presented. Investigators built a timeline that aligned patterns, movements, and actions that pointed toward a single conclusion. The courtroom became the place where these findings would be examined in full. Prosecutors laid out evidence showing that Kimberly was the last person seen with Joleen, that she was captured driving Joleen's vehicle, and that she had been observed disposing of items shortly after Joleen vanished. The trial moved forward with significant public interest. Kimberly Kessler continued her pattern of disruptive behavior, including refusing to appear at times and causing delays. Her reactions were unpredictable, and at points, she accused others of conspiracies. The court ultimately ruled that she was fit to stand trial. In December 2021, after reviewing testimony and evidence, a Nassau County jury delivered its decision. Kimberly Kessler was found guilty in connection with Joleen's disappearance. In January 2022, she received a life sentence. The court's ruling provided legal closure, but it did not answer the most important question for the family: where Joleen was. Even after the sentencing, Kimberly offered no explanation. She provided no information about Joleen's final location, no account of what occurred, and no acknowledgement of her involvement. Silence remained her final act. The years that followed were marked by resilience on the part of Joleen's family. They continued public awareness efforts, kept her story alive, and honored her life in ways that ensured her name would not fade. In Fernandina Beach, the community held memorials and vigils, recognizing that even when a case reaches the courtroom, a family's pain does not end there. By 2025, the case remains a point of focus for those who have followed it from the beginning. Investigators maintain that they are open to new leads and information. Advances in technology, geolocation analysis, expanded digital databases, refined search tools mean that cases once thought at a standstill can still move forward. Although no new breakthroughs have been publicly announced, authorities emphasize that the search for the truth is not over. Some believe that someone, somewhere, may have seen something years ago that they dismissed at the time: a sighting, vehicle, a detail from around the salon, memory from that weekend that didn't seem significant. Those fragments matter. Time can change how memories connect, and a single recollection may fill in a missing piece. For Joleen's children, the years have been marked by milestones their mother could not share. For her mother, each day remains a testament to love and endurance. For her friends, her absence echoes in the spaces she once filled, deeply, quietly, and constantly. For the community, her story remains an unclosed chapter, one that continues to remind people of how quickly normal life can be interrupted by something no one expects. Anyone with information about the disappearance of Joleen Jensen Cummings, no matter how small it may seem, is encouraged to contact the Nassau County Sheriff's Office. Even the smallest detail could help answer the question her family has carried since 2018. The story of Joleen Jensen Cummings is one of love, uncertainty, and an ongoing search for truth. It reminds us that some cases do not end with a verdict. Some continue to live in the memories of those left behind, in the files of investigators who refuse to give up, and in the hearts of families who hold on to hope. Until answers come, Joleen's story remains present, unresolved, and deserving of focus. Thank you for watching Fatal Secrets of True Crime, Real Crimes, Hidden Truths, and the Secrets They Tried to Bury. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps keep these stories alive and the pressure on for answers. Till next time, remember, every secret eventually comes to light.